Hello, my name is Lily Meal, and in this video essay I will be talking about postmodernism, what postmodernism is, and discussing this in relation to two films, Shaun of the Dead and The Truman Show. First of all, I will be talking about what postmodernism is. The definition on the Tate Modern website explains postmodernism can be seen as a reaction against the ideas and values of modernism, as well as a description of the period that follows modernism's dominance in the cultural theory and practice in the early and middle decades of the 20th century. The term is associated with skepticism, irony, and philosophical critiques of the concepts of universal truths and objective reality. The term was first used around 1970, and the key features of postmodernism films are simulation, irony as mentioned earlier, unpredictability, themes of paranoia, hyperreality, and distortion of time. My first example of a postmodern film is Shaun of the Dead, directed by Edgar Wright. This is a British-made film and is a thriller/comedy focusing more on comedy.
Do you want anything from the shop?
Cornetto.
Following the British humour of sarcasm, a lot of the irony is clear in this film, as well as the supernatural element of zombies, which is the reason this film is classed as postmodern. At the beginning of the film, there is a montage of Shaun during his normal routine to work. The acting in these shots are trying to show that even with the zombie apocalypse approaching, normal life won't be as affected as originally thought, shown by the ending scenes almost parallel to the beginning of the film. In the reality of this film, there is a supernatural element with the zombies, which can fit under the magical realism feature of postmodernism characteristics, found on the Studio Binder website. This further makes Shaun of the Dead a postmodern film, as well as unpredictability. There are many unpredictable moments during this film, as Shaun and his gang of misfits get into all sorts of dangerous situations during the early stages of this zombie apocalypse film. Some examples being such as their first encounter with zombies. It also fits under irony as they do not take the situation seriously, which adds to the unpredictable certainty of the situation. Another unpredictable moment was when they had to act like zombies to get into the pub where they were going to take shelter for the night. We do not know if this is going to work, and especially as their acting is really bad.
What is that? What about yours?
Hey?
Who died and made you fucking king of the zombies?
Don't.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But it ends up working and they get into the pub to safety, where the climax of the film will happen.
2 seconds.
Hey, Noodle.
You alright, mate?
Yeah, man, I can't really talk now.
Next, I'll be talking about The Truman Show and postmodernism. Susie Baraff wrote a text on The Truman Show and hyperreality, quoting, "In a film, hyperreality is primarily a visual language, as it works better with images in order to give a hyperreal experience to the audience." She also expresses that The Truman Show portrays the current situation of the real world, as everyone watches you through social media, just like the audience watched Truman, but through a TV show style format instead. The Truman Show is not just postmodern because of its views on reality, but also because of its themes of paranoia. Truman is constantly being manipulated by everything and everyone around him, so he never leaves his home. From this scene in the travel agency, adding to his paranoia about travelling after seeing his dad's death at sea, to his best friend trying to defuse his finding in the truth, so the show can continue running.
It's a bad time, okay? I'm way behind.
I'm onto something, Marlon. Something big.
You okay? You look like shit.
I think I'm mixed up in something.
Mixed up in what?
There's no point trying to explain it, but a lot of strange things have been happening.
The themes of paranoia increase as the movie goes on, as Truman begins to have more and more experiences and feelings of being watched, as he starts to figure out the reality he sees around them is not a real one and was set up for his purposes. He starts to realise that his wife is using products in a specific way to be advertised.
Why don't you let me fix you some of this new Mococo drink? All natural cocoa beans from the upper slopes of Mountain Nicaragua, no artificial sweeteners.
What the hell are you talking about?
And starts to realise that his neighbours and surroundings are all scripted, such as this scene with the bike.
Lady. Flowers. And
This is silly.
There it is! There it is! There's the dented beetle! Yes!
Thank you for listening to my video essay about postmodernism, and I hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you, bye!